Claimed that Mr. Trump was told of his son's 2016 meeting with a Russian lawyer before it happened. Donald Trump Jr.'s attorney issuing a new statement tonight expressing confidence in his client's denials under oath that his father had advance warning. This as the president and his lawyer are escalating their attacks on Mr. Trump's former fixer and on the man putting all the pieces together, the special counsel, Robert Mueller. I'll get reaction from Senate Judiciary Committee member Mazie Hirono, and our correspondents and analysts are also standing by. First, let's go to our chief White House correspondent, Jim Acosta. Jim, new attacks, a lot of deflection and denials from the Trump team.
Wolf, it seemed like a fog of confusion all day long. President Trump and his team are ramping up their attacks on special counsel Robert Mueller at a critical time in the Russia investigation. And one of the president's outside attorneys, Rudy Giuliani, is moving the goalposts for the probe, making the assertion that colluding with the Russians isn't even a crime. That's an odd line of attack, as the president has repeatedly said he is not guilty of collusion. Collusion. Mr. President, do you think other countries, as his aides were nearly screaming into the ears of reporters asking questions in the Oval Office, President Trump declined to weigh in on the Russia investigation. At a later news conference with the Italian Prime Minister,
do you feel betrayed by Michael Cohen, sir?
A question from CNN about his former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, and no response. Instead, the president unloaded in his usual safe space where there are no questions, on Twitter, tweeting there was no collusion and slamming the Russia investigation with a personal attack as the Robert Mueller rigged witch hunt. And just after the president was tweeting there was no collusion, his outside lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, was claiming on CNN that collusion isn't a crime.
Which I don't even know if that's a crime, colluding about Russians. You start analyzing the crime. The hacking is the crime.
Asked about that, the president relied on his aides to drown out the question.
YouTube viewers, the Lord just clearly told me to come on here and tell you He is removing you and I soon. He is removing you and I soon. Thank you.
I can't tell you. I'm not sure I know exactly what the conflict is. I have a good idea what it is. It's one that would have kept me out of the investigation.
The former New York City mayor also railed against Cohen for secretly recording the president.
He's a scumbag. He's a horrible person. I've never heard of a lawyer taping his client without the client's consent.
Giuliani is also blasting the trial that's about to begin for former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort, arguing the case is simply being used as leverage to take down the president.
I mean, this is a big fish. The reason I got Manafort in solitary confinement is so they'll give up Donald Trump, not because they'll give up some Russian or Ukrainian to do business with.
Instead of answering questions on Russia, Mr. Trump returned to a pet issue for his base, immigration, again threatening a government shutdown if he doesn't get what he wants.
I would have no problem doing a shutdown. It's time we had proper border security. We're the laughing stock of the world. We have the worst immigration laws anywhere in the world.
Trump also made the stunning announcement that he would be willing to meet with Iran's leadership without preconditions.
They want to meet, I'll meet. Anytime they want. Anytime they want. It's good for the country, good for them, good for us, and good for the world. No preconditions.
The president also trying to sound tough today on Russia, insisting his summit with Vladimir Putin was great and standing firm on sanctions against Moscow, saying they will remain in place for the time being. But, Wolf, getting back to Rudy Giuliani's claim that collusion is not a crime, it's a curious thing to say, Wolf. That is the one denial we have heard from the president. No collusion, no collusion. That is the one denial we've heard from the president over and over again since he basically came into office, Wolf.
Almost
YouTube viewers, the Lord clearly just told me to interrupt this news again, and He clearly said, from our perspective, the rapture is not far off. The Lord clearly said, from our perspective, the rapture is not far off. This is the word from the Lord. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe.